الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا
بالله من
الله
شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أدى الأمانة وبلغ الرسالة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد عباد الله، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله عز وجل، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلوات الله وسلامه عليه، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أعاذنا الله وإياكم من النار وفي النار. يقول المولى عز وجل في القرآن العظيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. ويقول عز من قائل: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. All praise and thanks is due to Allah, and I bear witness that none is worthy of worship but Allah. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fulfilled the trust, conveyed the message, and struggled for the sake of this deen until he met his Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May the peace and the blessing of Allah be upon him, his family, his companion, and those who follow his path until the day of judgment. Allah Azza wa Jal talking to us, the believers, the mu'minun. And he said, in the closest meaning of the ayah, Ya, O you who believe, fear Allah as he should be feared, and die not, but in a state of a total and peaceful submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My brothers and sisters in Islam, today is the 10th day of Ramadan. Today is the second week, or the second Friday in the month of Ramadan. And just yesterday, it seems like a few minutes ago, a few hours ago, we said Ramadan is coming and he's a guest and we should be ready for Ramadan. And then Ramadan is here and this is how we do. And then we're in the 10th day. This is life. This is sunnatullah al-khalqih. This is life. Time goes. Time is like a train that is going. And it's not going to wait for you. Either you get on it or you just stay in that station. It's not going to wait. It's not. You better get on the train and get to your destination, which is bi'idhnillah azza wa jal, as Muslims, is the pleasure and the Jannah, the pleasure of Allah azza wa jal and the Jannah. My brothers and sisters in Islam, today I will talk, last week I talked about ittaqillaha haythuma kunt. But the point is, Allah azza wa jal, when He said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. That siyam, fasting of the month of Ramadan, was prescribed upon you as it was prescribed upon nation before you, that you may attain taqwa. Attaining taqwa. And Allah Azza wa Jal tied or connected the taqwa and attaining taqwa to the month of Ramadan. But most of us will ask ourselves, how do I know that I go in Ramadan maybe with less taqwa, no taqwa maybe at all? But how do I know that after Ramadan I am among al-Mutaqeen? I have succeeded in the month of Ramadan to acquire that taqwa that Ramadan was prescribed for it, to attain it. How do I know that? The answer is very, very simple. You go back to the Quran. You go back to the Quran and you check what are the signs of taqwa. What are the attributes of al-Mutaqeen? Allah Azza wa Jal talks about al-Mutaqeen in many ayat in the Quran. But these ayat, they will give you a description of al-Mutaqeen. And I want to share with you these ayat today. And at the end of it, at the end of the Jumu'ah, or at the end of hearing this taqwa, I want you to remember something from today's khutbah. One thing. Remember one quality. Remember one sign. And try to see after the month of Ramadan or during the month of Ramadan, do I have this quality? Do I have this sign of taqwa or not? If you have it, thank Allah Azza wa Jal, praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and continue. If you don't have it, that means Ramadan was not really, the purpose of Ramadan was not met. And let's go and start with these ayat. And I noticed that the ayat, they deal with three areas of the Muslim's life. They deal with al-iman, al-ibadah, and al-suluk, or al-akhlaq. Taqwa, or the signs, or alamat al-taqwa, in the Quran, you will find Allah Azza wa Jal talks about al-iman, it talks about al-ibadah, and it talks about al-akhlaq, the character and the moral. And that's why you cannot separate these three. You cannot just be, wallahi, I'm just a mu'min, ibadah, we'll see it later. Or akhlaq, I'm just a mu'min and I have a good ibadah, but I have a bad character. It has to go as a package. And if you don't have that package, Ramadan is the time to acquire the whole package from the book of Allah Azza wa Jal. Starting with the first area. Allah Azza wa Jal in the Quran said, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Guidance to whom? Al-Mutaqeen. Who are these Mutaqeen? هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ وَيُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ. These are Mutaqeen. Do I fit these criteria? Am I a person who believes in al-ghayb? I believe in al-jannah and not as if I can see them in front of me. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla said there is jannah, there is nar, there is qabr, there is barzakh, there is, and because it's in the Quran, it's the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If that conviction comes to my heart very strong, I don't have any doubt, and I believe all of the mu'min and the believers have this quality, alhamdulillah. Before and after, maybe few, they have some tashwish from the shaitan, whispering of shaitan of desires, or because dealing with philosophy or whatever. But in general, we have that, alhamdulillah, that quality. We just need to improve it. And when we improve it, it will take us somewhere else. Allah Azza wa Jal, when He said in another ayah, talking about al-Muttaqeen, وَأُزْلِفَتِ الْجَنَّةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ غَيْرَ بَعِيدٍ. Al-Jannah was brought near to the Muttaqeen. Who are these Muttaqeen? And said, هَذَا مَا تُوعَدُونَ. Allah Azza wa Jal, this is the Jannah. All the Muttaqeen. This is what you are promised to whom? لِكُلِّ أَوَّابٍ حَفِيظٍ. So Muttaqi means awab, means the person who goes and repent to Allah Azza wa Jal, means the person who, when he makes a mistake, does not insist and stay on the road of mistakes, he goes back to Allah Azza wa Jal. Hafiz means that he guards the limits of Allah Azza wa Jal. Do we guard the limits of Allah Azza wa Jal? Yes, we guard them in Ramadan. How about after Ramadan? If we acquire that taqwa, we should be awab, we should be awabina hafidina li hududillah. in Ramadan and after Ramadan. So this is another quality of al-Mutaqeen. من خشي الرحمن بالغيب وجاء بقلب منيب. Those who fear Allah Azza wa Jal. Those who feared Allah Azza wa Jal before they stand before al-Jannah. Before Jannah was brought near to them when they were in the dunya. Those who believed in al-Ghayb, they were conscious of God, day of judgment, and so on and so forth. So they were fearful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَجَاءَ بِقَلْبٍ مُنِيبٍ. And the heart is clean, the heart is repenting, the heart is peaceful, and these are taqwa. This is when it comes to the heart. This is when it comes to al-iman. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about this. Then if we go to another ayah which is very comprehensive, beautiful ayah. And I want you also, again, I want you to remember something from the khutbah today. Remember something and try to see, can I do this? Can I acquire taqwa in this angle? In this month of Ramadan? So, and try it. Try one and one would lead to another. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, لَيْسَ الْبِرَّ أَن تُوَلُّوا وُجُوهَكُمْ قِبَلَ الْمَشْرِقِ وَالْمَغْرِبِ ولكن البر من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر والملائكة والكتاب والنبيين وآتى المال على حبه ذوي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل والسائلين وفي الرقاب وأقام الصلاة وآتى الزكاة والموفون بعهدهم إذا عاهدوا والصابرين في البأساء والضراء وحين البأس أولئك الذين صدقوا وأولئك هم المتقون. Allah Azza wa Jal started with the ayah of the people of al-birr and finished it with, it's a bracket. You start with the birr and you finish with taqwa. You are the people of birr, these are the description of people of birr. And at the end, أولئك هم الصادقون. أولئك الذين صدقوا وأولئك هم المتقون. Indeed, these ones are the truthful. Who are these ones? What are the quality of these people? First of all, it starts with al-iman billah wal-yawm al-akhir wal-malaikati wal-kitab wal-nabiyyin walhamdulillah. All of us as Muslims, the moment that we, especially those who are born and raised as Muslims, or even if they embraced Islam, we have those pillars of iman in our hearts. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Say, we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that quality. But Allah Azza wa Jal goes and say, that's not enough. To be among al-Mutaqeen, it's not enough just to say, Allah, I believe in my heart, in the book, in the malaika, and. That's what some Muslim will tell you. Forget about the rest. And Allah Azza wa Jal continue, and interestingly, Allah Azza wa Jal goes into the quality of Mutaqeen before as-salat with zakat. He talks about al-infaq fi sabilillah. He talks about spending for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he said, وَآتَ الْمَالَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ. Al-Muttaqi, al-Taqi, the one who fears Allah Azza wa Jal, the ones who are worried about meeting Allah Azza wa Jal with sayyat or hasanat, has this quality, is spending from what he loves the most. وَآتَ الْمَالَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ. I love money, I love my wealth, I love my property, but yet, because I'm a fearful, because I'm a taqi, I will spend for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. Where do I spend this money? I spend it ذوي القربى, those who are the relatives. You cannot be spending all over the place and forgetting your own relatives. واليتامى, the orphans. المساكين, those who are needy. ابن السبيل, who are the travelers who are the travelers who are stuck somewhere without money. وَفِي الرِّقَابِ, they freeing the slave. وَأَقَامَ الصَّلَاةِ, and then he goes to al-ibadah. Taqwa means أقام الصلاة, ولم يقل الله عز وجل وصلى, ولكن قال وأقام الصلاة. Praying and establishing the prayer are two different things. Praying is a mechanical thing. Praying that you do just movement on 5 times a day and you go up and down, Allahu Akbar, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, but the heart is somewhere else. You are praying, but the heart is somewhere else. You are praying, you don't know even if you brought all of the arkan of salat or not. Praying, but there is no khushu'. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَأَقَامَ الصَّلَاةِ. Ask ourselves the question, I want to be a muttaqi. Then I need to believe in Allah Azza wa Jalla, these pillars of faith. Then I spend for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla from what I love the most. Trust me, we love mal, the wealth, more than anything else. تُحِبُّونَ الْمَالَ حُبًّا جَمًّا. This is a reality from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we spend from it, whether we have a lot or a little. That's why Allah Azza wa Jalla said al-infaq, and then as-salat. And iqam as-salat, نأتي بالصلاة صحيحة يعني correct salat according to what Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم did. صلوا كما رأيتموني أصلي. هذه إقامة الصلاة. وآتى الزكاة. My brothers and sisters in Islam, those who have money, those who have wealth, those who are afraid of their bank that they will decrease $1,000 or $2,000 and they will just keep it away from giving the zakat. That's not good. That's not taqwa. In the month of Ramadan, this is a reminder that I have money and I need to give zakat. I need to give the money from the zakat. And Allah Azza wa Jal talks about al-infaq, which is the voluntary infaq, and then He goes to the mandatory infaq. It's as if all of us are supposed to spend from the wealth of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that was given to us. If we have enough for zakat, we'll give zakat. If we don't have enough for zakat, we will spend for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal from the voluntary money. وَالْمُوفُونَ بِعَهْدِهِمْ إِذَا عَهَدُوا. Now we're going to character of the Muslim. Iman, ibadah, and then we're going to the character of Muslim. وَالْمُوفُونَ بِعَهْدِهِمْ إِذَا عَهَدُوا. And those who fulfill their covenant when they make it. عهد مع أي كان. عهد, covenant that you gave to anyone. عهد, the covenant that you gave first and before all to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the most important covenant, which is أن تعبد الله ولا تشرك به شيئا. That you worship Allah Azza wa Jal, you do not take any partners or associate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Covenant with your own wife, that mithaq ghalid that you took with your spouse when you get into marriage, that ahd, that's mithaq ghalid described in the Quran. Covenant within your business that you enter in a business transaction, that's ahd. Covenant that you took or you pledged when you come, any pledge, any ahd, even with the non-Muslims, even with the kuffar. There is no ahd with Muslims and non-Muslims. Ahd is ahd. Allah Azza wa Jal, وَالْمُوفُونَ بِعَهْدِهِمْ in general, إِذَا عَاهَدُوا. This is another quality. وَالصَّابِرِينَ. Sabr, patience. And Ramadan is the month of patience. وَالصَّابِرِينَ فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ وَحِينَ الْبَأْسِ. Not just sabirin, not just any sabr. Sabr in all of these circumstances. Sabr في البأساء والضراء وحين البأس. البأساء الفقر. البأساء is when you are in a state of poverty. You should be patient. Patience in that moment is a quality of Mutaqeen. Patience when you are afflicted by a calamity in health. الضراء, death, whatever it is that you are going through. A calamity that you're going through, whether it's loss of people or loss in the health. What do you say? As-sabr. That's the quality of al-Mutaqeen. And a quality of al-Mutaqeen also in the safe for when they are al-ba'sa'i wal-dharra'i wa heen al-ba's. Heen al-ba's is al-jihad fi sabilillahi azza wa jal. And al-jihad, as I mentioned, it's not only in the battlefield, it's all what we do today is jihad, especially in the non-Muslim societies, and where we have the jihad with our tongue, we're jihad with our pen and everything, and we are patient. We are patient because we go through tough times when we are in the path of struggle for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا. These people, those who believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, those who spend for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who establish salat, those who give their zakat, those who are truthful, those who are fulfilling their covenant with Allah Azza wa Jal and with people, those who are patient in all circumstances, these are the people who are truthful. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا. You want to be among as-sadiqeen? These are the truth, the quality of the truth people. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُتَّقُونَ. And they are the muttaqeen. My brothers and sisters in Islam, when we look at the ayat in the Quran, here you go, you see that it's really my life and your life. If I follow the ayat, the Quran, the book of Allah Azza wa Jal, I will find myself acquiring that taqwa. It's not just fasting. It's not just abstaining from food and drinking and marital relations and that's it. And I'm fasting. No, it's not that. It's more than that. It's a discipline. It's a self-restraining. It's a self-control. It is an improvement in the iman. And not how to improve the iman. Al-iman yazidu bil-ta'a wa yanqusu bil-ma'siyah. Al-iman will increase. Taqwa will go up when we do more ta'ah. And it will decrease when you do the disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah Azza wa Jalla in another ayah. سارعوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم عرضها السماوات والأرض أعدت للمتقين. march forward hastily towards what? Jannah, as wide as the heavens and the earth. Prepared to al-Mutaqeen. Who are these Mutaqeen, Ya Rabbana? Who are these Mutaqeen? Quran. This is Allah Azza wa Jal. I did not say anything from my mind today. It's all from the Quran. Look at this. الَّذِينَ. Again, ينفقون في السراء والضراء والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين. Allah Azza wa Jal said, and those who spend in the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, again, spending for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know why? لأن الناس يحبون المال حبا جما. The most difficult thing to do in this for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal is to spend for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, Allah Azza wa Jal, those who spend for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, in prosperity and adversity, not just when I'm wealthy and I'm good, then I'll spend for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. No, even when I'm not that good, I'll give. وَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ وَلَوْ بِشِقِّ تَمْرَةٍ. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, shield yourself even with a half date. That means you spend for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, even if it's a half of a date. That's how important it is to spend for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal and repress anger the month of Ramadan. إذا سابه أحد, النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم said, if someone, you go into a conflict with someone or a fight, you will say, Allahumma inni sa'im. Goes to this. And they repress self-control, self-discipline, repress anger, and who pardon men, not just self-control, but also you pardon those who wrong did you. That's taqwa. And Allah Azza wa Jalla said, لِلْمُتَّقِينَ at the end, there's these people, especially those who forgive and those who control themselves in anger, those who spend for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla in all circumstances, are not only just muttaqeen, but they have another quality, muhsinun. Muhsinun, they are the good doers. Allah Azza wa Jalla continue describing this muttaqeen, this muhsinin. وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا فَعَلُوا فَاحِشَةً أَوْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ ذَكَرُوا اللَّهَ فَاسْتَغْفَرُوا لِذُنُوبِهِمْ وَمَنْ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ وَلَمْ يُصِرُّوا عَلَى مَا فَعَلُوا وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. You want to be muttaqi? Listen to the ayat. You want to know if you have acquired taqwa or not? Listen to these verses of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And those who, when they have committed a sin, those who have committed a fahisha. Fahisha is basically fornication or adultery. But in general, those who commit any fahisha or any sin or wrong themselves, what would they do? To be among the muttaqeen. Because subhanAllah, Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying, yes, you could have made mistakes before and you could become a muttaqi. You could have made mistakes and you could have become a muttaqi. It's not necessarily that you have not, to be a muttaqi, to be sinless, perfect life. It doesn't work in Islam like this. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, those who commit fahisha wa dhalamu anfusahum, and then they remember Allah Azza wa Jalla. Then they remember that there is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who al-Khaliq, al-Bari, al-Musawwir, who al-Raqib, who al-Aziz, who al-Jabbar, who al-Ghafur, who al-Rahim. Then they remember that they have made mistakes. Then they remember that they have to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَنْ يَغْفِرْ وَاسْتَغْفَرُوا, which is an istighfar, seeking forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they do not insist, they do not persist in what wrong they have done while they know. This is taqwa. You know that you're doing wrong. To be a muttaqi, you take off. To be a muttaqi, you stop. To be a muttaqi, you go and start a new chapter in your life. That's taqwa. These are al-muttaqun as described by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these verses. My brothers and sisters in Islam, you can see that taqwa has to do with all my life. It's not just praying tarawih and siyam, which is good. Do more of it, because it will increase. But it's more than that, taqwa. It's more than that, why Ramadan was prescribed. For taqwa, and taqwa has to do with my iman, my ibadah, and my character as a Muslim. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه ملء السماوات والأرض وما بينهما يا رب. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. My brothers and sisters in Islam, as I mentioned in the first khutbah, take something from this khutbah. Do not go home. It's as if you heard some verses from the Quran and you continue living your life as before, or the same as before. Take one thing and try to practice it. Try to train yourself. This is what Ramadan is about. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. All you who believe, Siyam was prescribed upon you. We have to understand this verse. It's not just because it's hukum of Siyam is wajib or fard. It has to go to more than that. What is the illah? What is the objective? What's the purpose of fasting the day of Ramadan? Is it just me starving and not drinking and that's it? That's the purpose of Ramadan? No, it's more than that. It's to acquire taqwa. It's to attain that taqwa. To be among al-Mutaqeen. To be among those whom Allah Azza wa Jal prepared for them. Jannah arduha as-samawati wal-ard. That's what the purpose of the month of Ramadan. And I will just enumerate the qualities that I have found in these few verses. It might be more, but these are the few verses. First of all, al-Iman billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wal yawm al-akhir wal qada'i wal qadar khayr wa shar. Iman, strong conviction, not just I memorized them. Strong conviction that Allah Azza wa Jal huwa al-Raziq, huwa al-Hafiz, huwa al-Ghafur, huwa al-Rahman, huwa al-Rahim, huwa al-Aziz, huwa al-Jabbar. All of these attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. Second, which is al-Infaq. في سبيل الله عز وجل, to spend for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون. You will not attain the level of taqwa or birr until you spend from what you love. Quran, from Allah Azza wa Jal. الإنفاق في سبيل الله. Establish الصلاة, إقامة الصلاة. لا يفتنك وقت صلاة. لا يفتنك وقت صلاة. Meaning that do not only establish salat, but establish salat on time, and more than that, establish salat in congregation as much as you can. And particularly al-Fajr wal-Isha, when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, بشر المشائين في الظلمات بالنور التام يوم القيامة. Allah Azza wa Jal, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, those who walk at night for the Isha and the Fajr, they are given the glad tidings of the full light on the Day of Judgment. On a dark day, full light. Because you are in Salat al-Isha in Jama'ah. Because you are in Salat al-Fajr in Jama'ah. And this is Ramadan. And this is the opportunity. As zakat, if you have money, this is the time to give zakat. This is the time to give haqqullahi fi malik. Or to give haqqul fuqara'i wal masakin fi malik. This is their right, it's not yours. Allah Azza wa Jalla said that's the right of the poor people, of the needy, it's not yours. We think it's ours. We think it's ours, it's not. هو رزق من الله عز وجل. العهد الموفون بعهدهم. Keeping your promise, keeping your covenant with Allah Azza wa Jalla and with the people. You can fool the whole world, but you cannot fool Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can bring all of the excuses. Deep down in your heart, you know what kind of covenant you made and how did you breach it or not. As-sabr, thumma as-sabr, which is patience, and we are practicing it in the month of Ramadan. As-sidq, to be truthful. Al-kadhimin al-ghayb, the self-restraint and repressing our anger. Al-afwu, which is forgiving others. This is the month of forgiveness. This is what Allah Azza wa Jalla ya'tiq riqaban min al-nar, forgiving people from the hellfire. We want the forgiveness of Allah Azza wa Jalla, then we need to forgive others. And al-istighfar, which is seeking forgiveness from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Al-dhikr, wal-tawbah, wal-inaba. And this is the month of tawbah. This is the month we go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the month we start a new chapter in our life. This is the month that I start a new life as a muttaqi, or the beginning of a path of taqwa. This is the month of Ramadan, and I will tell you the best way to do it, to acquire all of the above, from another ayah, وَإِنَّهُ لَتَذْكِرَةٌ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Quran, Quran, Quran. Indeed, Allah Azza wa Jalla said that Quran is tadhkirah. Quran is a reminder for whom? For muttaqeen. You want to acquire all of the qualities above? Read the Quran and be reminded by the Quran. Allah Azza wa Jalla said in another verse, وَلَقَدْ أَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكُمْ آيَاتٍ مُبَيِّنَاتٍ وَمَثَلًا مِنَ الَّذِينَ قبلكم وموعظة للمتقين. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, we have sent to you clear verses and examples of those who were before you. For what? As an admonishing lessons. To whom? To al-Mutaqeen. You read Quran, and if it doesn't do anything to your heart, you have to work hard and read it more and more until you get to that point. And the Quran and al-Khushu', an example was given, it's like digging a well. When you dig a well, after a while, you don't read the Quran, or after a while you're looking for water in any surface of the planet. When you start digging a well, you have to go through layers. First layer of the surface, and then the rocks, and then the stone, whatever, until you get to the water. So it means that you keep going until you get to that water. Quran is the same thing. Keep going, keep reading until you get to that interaction between the heart and the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.